Hello everybody, my name is Scott Shorter. I'm a search engine optimization specialist, and today this is my talk, Search Engine Optimization Demystified. I'd like to start today with a joke, and for those of you who've had some exposure to search engine optimization, you might be smiling or frowning looking at this. An SEO expert walks into a bar, bars, pub, tavern, public house, Irish pub, drinks beer, alcohol, and that is because SEO people are notorious for wrecking your website by placing keywords all over it. It's true, I'm guilty of putting keywords on your website, but hopefully with a little bit of tact. I'd like everybody to participate in this survey, and I can't think of a better opportunity to find out what business leaders and decision makers are using to search. So we've got the usual suspect, Google at 88%, 90%, that's interesting. We've got some privacy-minded people in this room, good, with DuckDuckGo. And Bing hasn't hit the board yet. 92. Bing's still not on the board. That wasn't a good bet. Have we got any more to come in? We're at 26. 26. Okay, it doesn't look like Bing's going to score. That's very interesting because the stats say that the Google market share has declined from 90 to about 87%, with that supposedly being eroded a little bit by Bing, which comes pre-installed on Windows computers, but Google holding very steady for the most part, with its dominance of that search engine being pre-installed on the two most popular mobile phone browsers. And I think that is reflective of the education level in this room, with 7% using DuckDuckGo. That's definitely above average. What is search engine optimization? Well, Wikipedia defines it as the following. Search engine optimization is the process of improving the quality and quantity of website traffic to a website from search engines like Google, like Bing, and like DuckDuckGo. Search engine optimization focuses on improving the rank of your website in that section there with the red box around it. The results at the top are a paid system, and there are costs involved in that system per visitor that clicks on the top results, whereas this section here that's labeled the organic results, it's not possible to pay Google or Bing or DuckDuckGo to rank in this section. But this section's results are driven and ordered by a scorecard, and search engine optimization attempts to bring your website in alignment with that scorecard so that you can rank higher in this section here. And that's where the word organic comes from. These are the organic results, because organic has a connotation of being natural, and you can't pay Google or Bing or DuckDuckGo if you rank in this section, but you could pay an SEO consultant to give you some advice as to what you should be doing to score well in that section. And today, that is my goal, to give you some ideas that you can implement on your websites to rank higher in that section. So today I'll be showing you some examples of what is possible. There is said to be 200 factors which influence the rank in Google, Bing, and DuckDuckGo, and I'll be demystifying where you should be placing your effort first. I'll give you some actionable ideas, and I'll point out some common mistakes. Why SEO? Well, I went back to the oldest advertising account with Google that I had access to, and it went back to 2012. And this red line is the average cost per click that you would have to pay Google if you wanted an ad in Google since 2012, and we're at 2022, obviously. And I don't think I see any more compelling correlation between time and inflation of advertising costs anywhere else. That is not a very pretty picture, and the ads in that top section have become incredibly expensive for many businesses, to the point where it's not profitable to advertise in that section. which makes search engine optimization, which focuses in this lower section where you don't pay per click, a very relevant investment in 2022. If we graph what it costs per visitor for search engine optimization, we will see the exact opposite shape in the graph. The investment in a search engine optimization program generally is a fixed monthly fee, with the results improving each month as you score progressively higher on Google's scorecard. So the cost of the visitor in month 1 of search engine optimization starts very high, and as the process unfolds, the result gets better and the number of visitors you receive improves, lowering the cost per visitor. So in contrast to the paid ads at the top, SEO is a very sound investment in 2022. How SEO reduces the cost per visitor over time is by incrementally improving the rank of your website on the keywords which are valuable to you. This is the rank of a single keyword for one of our customers, and as the SEO process unfolded over many months, the average rank of that keyword improved. Now this plays out across all the keywords that are important to them, but it gives you a picture of how SEO results are achieved over time. And obviously, as they reached the number 1 position, the amount of traffic that they were receiving improved. And the thing to note is here that the cost of SEO each month was fixed. So divide visitors and cost together and you get a decreasing curve of cost per visitor. So it is a good investment in that sense. Here's another example of what can happen with search engine optimization. This is an account we're working on at the moment. And you can just picture for me not only the clicks increasing over 6 months, but a fixed monthly fee divided by the visitor number to give you that decreasing cost in visitor. And for this business, it's going exceptionally well, with a 200% increase in the amount of organic clicks to their website. And that's a 3-fold increase in traffic. The SEO opportunity is about driving new sales, lowering your cost per sale, strengthening your reputation because businesses at the top of Google are perceived to be industry authorities, and increasing the value of your business for any potential buyer that wants to buy your business. Here's a couple more examples of what's possible. Wilson Security into the number 1 organic position for the keyword security companies and security company, positioning them as the authority in the industry and also, of course, bringing them extra business from Google. Tire Sales, which is an online-only business, had 159% in organic traffic in 6 months. So that's more than double the organic traffic that this business was able to receive in just 6 months. And Health Engine saw a 150% increase in the amount of organic traffic, another online-only business, and within 12 months, that increase grew beyond 298% improvement for their organic traffic. So some tremendous results are possible. SEO rankings are contested on 200 signals, and it is a competition to score better on these signals than the opposition, the competitors. Today, I wanted to demystify for you what you should be doing in terms of your investment first, because optimizing 200 signals would be very expensive. This is the weighting, in my experience, that Google gives to the signals, and relevance and authority, as you see, those 2 signals get the most weight in Google's scorecard. The 198 other signals make up that grey section. I didn't draw all the little chunks, but they're all in there, and that's things like the number of reviews that your business has, the page speed. All of these things are difficult to optimize, and that's where the expense would come in, trying to do all those little things. So I want you to take away from this that the 2 main activities to get a big result out of Google is relevance and authority. I will be talking quickly from here forward because we have a lot of content to get through, and I want you to be able to receive it all today. To do well on the relevance side of Google, we've got this picture where on the left we have website A that's only been given a 50% relevance score by Google because the homepage talked about cats and dogs. Website B had a 100% relevance score because it added extra pages. So it had the homepage which talked about cats and dogs, and then it added extra pages for cats and dogs. So many people in this room will be on this side, B, but many people will also still be on A. So the first thing you need to do is move in this direction. Where am I pointing? Whoa, gotta go back. This is a simple formula, and I've written here, build it and they will come. If you build these extra pages, search engines are the ocean and the pages are your bait. So you could imagine that the boat is your homepage and you've added a page for cats and a page for dogs, and you're now going to start pulling more business out of Google. It's a very simple formula that never seems to fail. So that brings us to our first activity. And on your sheets, you will have this shape with empty boxes. I just want you to draw in your 6 most important products or services. And if you've already split your website up onto pages for each product or service, try to think just to the left or just to the right of that. So for myself, my primary product is SEO, but just to the right of that, I also do SEO speaking. So think how you could add an extra page to your website just to the side of your core product or service. And obviously, when you get back to the office, you can draw more circles and throw out more lines. But today we're just going to put down a couple. Now we'll have to keep moving just because of time. Google is a text matching search engine, and it is very important that not only do you have the right number of pages, but they have the keywords on them, and there lies the joke that I started this presentation with. So I want to give you an example of how I would optimize my SEO page. So I have the home page, I've created the SEO page. The theme of that page is SEO, so I have a section at the top called theme keywords, and I've written SEO, search engine optimization, and search engine optimization with a Z. It's very hard to be number 1 in Google if I didn't put that search engine optimization with a Z in there if somebody was Googling for it with the Z. So you do need all the different ways that people will be typing your keyword in. And you'll need contextual words. So search engine optimization company, search engine optimization expert. All of these pages, all of these keywords must be written into your page. And I can guarantee, even if you've done well splitting your website into the cats and dogs setup, most people in this room would now be able to, on your worksheets, write down a list of contextual keywords, get back to the office and find keywords that you've missed. So I'd like you to take that away from today. And then lastly, I've written Perth down at the bottom, and Perth will have to be on there if I want to be found for searches which have Perth in them, and I definitely do. And I'd like to point out to everybody in this room that if you have 2 geographic targets and you put them on a single page, well, you're back in the cats and dogs scenario on a single page, which is only going to give you a 50% relevance to search. So please do create separate pages for separate locations. This is your opportunity now to do this exercise for your most important page. Once again, just because of time, I'll keep moving, but I think most people have a grip on this exercise, and please do repeat that for the other pages on your website. And these keywords, when you get back to the office, will have to be written into the website, but please do take note of these very important rules. Create any missing pages on your website. Ensure that these pages have a minimum length of 500 words, and longer correlates to better rankings in Google. So if you can write longer than 500, please do so. Use mostly unique copy. It doesn't work with Google to copy content from elsewhere on the internet or from elsewhere on your website. And yes, it is a bit painful, but this is the rule. You need to create mostly unique content for each page. Build the best page you can, because pictures and video will trump just text and pictures, and text and pictures will trump just text. So build the best page you can with as many elements on it as possible. Add all of the missing keywords into your website copy, or it'll be difficult to rank in Google. Do repeat the most important keyword more than once. You want the most important keyword to stand out against the background. And do not list your keywords with commas like this, because Google's wise to that. It doesn't work. You'll have to write each of these keywords that you want to be found for into sentences. And also the effectiveness of putting keywords in lists is less as well. So if you want it to work, you'll have to write them into that 500 words of copy. We're back at this diagram, which suggests that the next most efficient exercise for you to invest your time in is building up website authority. Authority is transferred between websites via links that you can click on, such as this red link. This is an example of a link. Here's the yellow pages. Here's my business listed in the yellow pages. And that website there is a link that you can click on and move from the yellow pages to my website. The yellow pages had this authority that I'm about to explain on it, and it flowed through that link and arrived at my website. Let's visualize what that might look like. Each of these circles is a website on the internet, and website B, in Google's eyes, has more authority than any other website. And the way it grew to have that large authority level is by links coming from other websites. And each one contributed a small amount of authority until website B grew to have more authority than any other website on the board. Now, if this sounds a bit silly, I'm not actually making this up. This is called Google's PageRank algorithm, and the diagram actually comes from Wikipedia. So that's how it works. It's about getting links from other websites that have authority, and it's the direction of that link pointing to your website that's critical. You want it to point towards you so it arrives at your website. This exercise is completely measurable. Here are the number of links that 2 websites had over time, and this red website was working on the amount of links that they had, and we can see that it steadily increased, and they happened to be in the number 1 position for the keyword that they wanted to rank for, whereas this blue line is a new customer that's asking us to assist them, and we'll have to start work to try and catch up to that amount of link building. What not to do? There are some possibilities that you could move down in Google rather rapidly rather than move up, and most of those are around acquiring links disingenuously. So it's not a good idea to set up a network of 2,000 fake websites to get 2,000 fake links from, and this is an example of where somebody has done that, and it really does stand out as moving too quickly. That business got too many links too quick, and Google saw it, and not good things happened. So get your links steadily. It's a marathon, not a sprint. And don't use fake websites to get links from. So where can you get your links? You can get links from companies you know, other companies you own, suppliers and distributors, associations you've joined, business directories such as the yellow pages I just showed you, and another incredibly powerful place to get links from is links from the media, and Sue from Profile Media will be up next, and she is the person you should go and see for this, which really is a big strategy. There are many publications all around the country that could potentially link to you, and they have a lot of authority to give. And lastly, SEO companies can help you to get links to build your business's authority, and they'll use a combination of all of these methods. And that brings us to the end of my talk today, and I want to stress that now that you have these core principles, you can build and climb. Now that you understand relevance, tomorrow you can action and be more relevant than you were the day before, and you can build on this each day and week. You can improve your relevance. And authority, you can all now go home and action and execute and work on your authority. And once you build on these, you'll see an incremental improvement in Google, I assure you. And climb Google's mountain to success. So thank you very much.